On March 29th, Joseph Duggar left Arkansas. He is now in Bay County, Florida, and the charges waiting for him there are life felonies. That means exactly what it sounds like. Life in prison, or, at minimum, 25 years, followed by lifetime probation and lifetime registration as a sex offender. Joseph Duggar is 31 years old. Let that sit for a moment. If he receives the minimum sentence, he would walk out of a Florida prison at 56 and spend every year after that on probation, monitored, restricted, registered, for the rest of his life. But here's what I haven't seen anyone cover carefully. The same week he was transferred to Florida, his wife Kendra picked up the phone and told him something on a recorded jail call. "I've got Travis as my attorney right now. He's my attorney. Not for you. It's only for me." That call was obtained by People magazine. It is real. Today I'm walking you through 3 things. First, what the transfer to Florida actually means for Joseph Duggar legally, what these charges are, what they carry, and why this is a completely different situation than what happened in Arkansas. Second, who Travis' story is, why Kendra hired him, and what it means that she is now legally separating herself from her husband, because that phone call is more significant than it might seem on the surface. And third, Bob and Michelle Duggar finally released a statement. 12 days after their son's arrest, I read every word of it. Joseph Duggar's name is not in it. Not once. This is Verdict Wire. We cover active criminal cases. No gossip, no speculation, just the documents. If you're following this case, subscribe. April 29th is coming fast, and there is a lot more ahead. Let's start with what we know about the transfer. Joseph Duggar signed an extradition waiver on March 24th. That gave Bay County, Florida 30 days to take him into custody. They didn't wait 30 days. VineLink, the official victim notification system used by law enforcement across the country, confirmed his transfer on March 29th. He is now in Bay County custody. The Bay County Sheriff's Office has not made a public statement confirming his exact location. That's not unusual in cases like this. What matters is not where he is sitting. What matters is what he is facing. In Florida, Joseph Duggar faces 2 counts. Count 1, lewd and lascivious molestation of a victim under 12 years old. Count 2, lewd and lascivious behavior by a person 18 or older. Both are life felonies under Florida statute. Now, I want to be precise about what that means, because the term gets used loosely. A life felony in Florida is the most serious category of felony charge below first-degree murder. It means one of 2 outcomes if convicted. Outcome 1, life in prison. Outcome 2, if the judge applies what Florida law calls a split sentence, a mandatory minimum of 25 years in prison, followed by lifetime sex offender probation. There is no parole in Florida for life felonies. You serve the time. All of it. Joseph Duggar is 31. If he receives the minimum, he would leave prison at 56 and spend the rest of his life on probation. Now compare that to what he was facing in Arkansas. The Arkansas charges were serious, but they were not this. The Florida charges are what this case has always been about. This is where the alleged crime occurred. This is the jurisdiction that matters. And now he is there. But before we get to what happens in court, let's talk about what happened on March 20th, 3 days after Kendra was released on bail. She made a phone call to the jail. The call was recorded, as all jail calls are. Every person in that facility is told, every time they pick up the phone, this call is being recorded. It was obtained by People magazine and reported on March 30th. Joseph opens the conversation by warning Kendra, Just know that we can't talk about a lot here. Then he asks, "Did Travis' story get a hold of you?" Kendra says yes. Then she says this, "I've been in communication with Travis. I've got him as my attorney right now. He's my attorney." And then she adds, "Not for you. It's only for me." Let me be clear about what that means legally and practically. Kendra Duggar and Joseph Duggar are facing separate criminal cases in Arkansas. Kendra's Arkansas charges carry far lighter penalties than Joseph's. In theory, in many cases involving married co-defendants, couples share legal counsel, at least at the early stages. It reduces cost. It allows for coordinated strategy. Kendra is saying, we won't. She is drawing a legal line between herself and her husband. In writing. On a recorded call. On March 20th, 2 days after she was bailed out of jail. That is fast. Now, who is Travis Story? Travis Story is not a random attorney Kendra found online. Travis Story is the attorney who represented Josh Duggar during his 2021 federal trial on child pornography charges. He also has a long-standing professional relationship with Jim Bob Duggar on business and legal matters. Kendra did not hire a stranger. She hired the Duggar family's lawyer. For herself, not for Joseph. Honestly, that detail sat with me for a while. Because Travis Story knows this family. He has sat across from Jim Bob Duggar at a table. He has stood in a federal courtroom defending a Duggar. He knows exactly what public scrutiny looks like when this family is on trial. And he chose to represent Kendra, not Joseph. And Joseph, in that same call, said he found it reassuring that Kendra had legal representation. I'm not sure he should. Because when your wife, facing charges related to your case, hires the family lawyer and tells you on a recorded call it's only for me, that is not reassurance. That is a signal. I want to ask you something. Kendra's Arkansas charges carry far lighter penalties than what Joseph faces in Florida. She is out on bail. He is in a cell in Bay County. She has the family lawyer. He has his own separate counsel. Do you think Kendra knew what Joseph did? That's the question this case keeps coming back to. Leave your answer in the comments. I read every single one. And I want to know what you think. Because the answer to that question changes everything about how we understand this case. Now let's talk about Jim, Bob, and Michelle. 12 days after Joseph's arrest, they released their first public statement. 12 days, via a spokesperson. To People magazine. Not a press conference. Not a direct statement from Jim, Bob, or Michelle. A spokesperson. Here is the statement in full. We are heartbroken over this entire situation. Right now, we are focused on loving our family and helping Kendra and her children during this difficult time. We are praying for the victim. They ask for privacy and appreciate the kind words and prayers offered by so many. I want to go through this carefully, because what is in this statement matters, and what is not in this statement matters more. We are heartbroken over this entire situation. That is the opening line. It does not specify what situation. It does not say Joseph's name. It does not say what they are heartbroken about. We are focused on loving our family and helping Kendra and her children. Kendra, mentioned by name. The children, mentioned. Joseph Garrett Duggar, their son. The person at the center of this entire case. Not mentioned, not once. We are praying for the victim. That line is significant. It acknowledges that there is a victim. It does not dispute the charges. It does not call them false. It does not echo Josh Duggar's language of sensationalized fiction, but it also does not say Joseph's name. Now, to be fair, I understand that legal strategy often calls for silence. Anything Jim, Bob, or Michelle say publicly about Joseph could potentially be used in court proceedings. But here's the thing. They didn't stay silent. They chose to release a statement. They chose to speak publicly. And in that statement, they chose Kendra. That was a deliberate decision. And it is consistent with everything else we know about how this family has responded since March 18th. Michelle Duggar was at the Washington County Detention Center on March 20th. She was there to bail out Kendra. Joseph was in that same building, 200 feet away, in solitary confinement, 23 hours a day in an 8x10 cell. She did not ask to see him. No family member has visited Joseph since his arrest. His only visitor has been his attorney. And now, after 12 days of silence, his parents released a statement that did not say his name. The next court date for both Joseph and Kendra in Arkansas is April 29th. That is less than 4 weeks away. We will be covering every filing, every development, every statement as this case moves forward in both Arkansas and Florida. If you're not subscribed yet, now is the time. Hit the bell. We don't miss anything. Joseph Duggar is in a Florida jail cell. His wife has her own lawyer. His parents released a statement and didn't say his name. His siblings have called him evil. His brother Josh, convicted of child pornography, is the only one who defended him. And the charges he's facing, the ones in Florida, carry a sentence that could last the rest of his life. There are a lot of open questions in this case. We're going to keep asking them